Bueno, muy buenas noches a todos. Mi nombre es Alejandro Arias. Son las 7 de la noche aquí, hora colombiana. Yo soy el Vicerrector de Mercadeo Admisiones del Politécnico Grancolombiano y hoy los reunimos todos acá para esta conferencia muy especial que tenemos acá con Grant Cardone. Hace unas semanas esperábamos tener a Grant en el Poli. Desafortunadamente tuvimos unos incidentes y él no pudo viajar, entonces hoy va a estar compartiendo con todos nosotros sus secretos para su éxito. Les voy a contar un poquitico acerca de quién es Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone es autor de 5 libros muy exitosos en ventas del New York Times. Está entre los 5 principales locutores online del mundo. Adicionalmente es considerado uno de los top 10 influenciadores de redes sociales en el mundo. También opera 4 compañías con ventas de más de 100 millones de dólares en Estados Unidos y adicionalmente tiene una universidad de entrenamiento en ventas, es la universidad más visitada en el mundo. También ha logrado mucho de su fortuna a través de transacciones de bienes raíces y ha logrado transacciones por más de $500 millones. Dentro de sus clientes están incluidos Salesforce.com, Aflac, State Farm, LinkedIn, Google, Morgan Stanley. Adicionalmente, recientemente estuvo trabajando con el Pentágono, está trabajando actualmente con el Pentágono de Estados Unidos para la transición de 150,000 soldados a la vida civil y adicionalmente es un invitado especial de varios shows de televisión, de Fox, de MSNBC, de CNBC y muchos otros shows de radio y podcast a nivel mundial. También él es creador de su propia red digital para negocios en Grant Cardone TV, donde tienen para negocios, empresas, para emprendedores y cubre más de 600 horas diarias al día. Entonces hoy tenemos el placer de tener aquí a Grant. Él va a comenzar en 2 segundos a hablarnos acerca un poquitico de 10X, un poco el éxito de su último bestseller. Y para que todos sepan, obviamente estamos en una transmisión en streaming, entonces de pronto hay un poquito de delay. Vamos al final de pronto a poder contestar unas preguntas con Grant, entonces los invito a todos a que con el hashtag Poligrant, ¿ok? Poligrant, no Grant, sino con T al final, para que hagan las preguntas necesarias que ustedes tengan alguna inquietud. Yo voy a estar revisando las preguntas y al final las mejores preguntas las vamos a seleccionar para hacerles a Grant Cardone directamente. Entonces, sin más preámbulos, le doy la bienvenida a Grant. Grant, thank you very much for being here, and I hand it over to you.
Hey, thank you so much, Alejandro. I appreciate the courage and persistence that you've used in putting this together and making sure it worked. First, I want to thank everyone with the university, all the students, the teachers, the administrators that have taken some time to put this together. Let me tell you first why I wanted to do this. When I went to college, I didn't know why I was going to college. I wanted to be a businessman. I wanted to be a successful businessman. I had the dream my entire life of being super, super successful. My dad died when I was 10 years old. I had an older brother die when I was 20 while I was going to college. And so all my role models were gone. I didn't have anybody to reach to that could tell me the way. So I thought, okay, college is going to do that. I really thought that college would tell me how to be successful. And when I got out of college, I spent 5 years. I don't know if you know this, but in America, 64% of all people that go to college are still not out after 4 years. This is very important for you to know. How do you say important?
Yeah. Importante.
This is very, very important. Okay, 64% of all college students in America are not out of college after 4 years. Okay, in 6 years, only 44% are still not out. So that gets me to thinking, well, what's the problem? You know, what's the problem? Not with college, but what's the problem with those of us who attend college and don't get everything that we should get out of it. So look, if you want success, financial, I'm talking about financial success, money. Okay, let's just talk about the M word. Money, 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 money. I'm going to say money, money, money. And then I'm going to talk about success today. And I'm going to talk about money, and then I'm going to talk about success. See, when I went to college, I didn't know why I was going. There was no purpose. You know, if you're taking notes, you have to identify your purpose. And you must quit saying you don't know your purpose. You have to quit saying this. You have to figure out what this thing is. You cannot continue to go through life wondering, what am I doing? A busy street in Bogota, wondering, am I going to go across? Am I going to come back? Where am I going to go? What am I doing here? I mean, you would either never cross or you'd get splattered on the road. And that's what's happening to a lot of people in the spending too many years getting an education, and when they get out, they don't know why. In the last 5 books, I have a 6th and 7th book coming out right now. I'm working on 2 books at the same time. I do not read other people's books when I write a book because I don't want to be influenced. And these books are all about one thing: success. How does a person take this and turn it into this? How do you take an idea that's this small? I mean, literally, like whatever that is right there in my hand. How do you take this little tiny idea, which an idea would only be a fraction of that? It'd be a billionth the size of that. How do you take that and turn it into a company with 2,000 or 3,000 employees? How do you turn a simple idea into a business that supports you, your family, employees, customers, your community, your church, and most importantly, or as importantly, your dreams? So number one, purpose. What's my purpose, you know? And my purpose has always been to help people. So now I had to figure out, when I got out of college, how do I combine helping people with making money? Because I wanted financial success. I imagine if you're going to college, you're going there for knowledge, to either do a skill that's in your purpose line, and hopefully you're aware enough to know, particularly around the globe at this time, most people are suffering financially. At no time in the history of this planet have we had so many educated people. At the very same time, we have a lot of people suffering financially. So the trick is, how do you take your purpose and then figure out how it's going to fund activities, charities, a business, community, church? How are you going to fund things so it's viable? The other thing that has been really important to me is for those of you who are in relationships, you have children maybe already. I see a lot of people forget their dream along the way. They get a wife and a kid. They get a husband and 2 kids. They get a job. They get the problems of everyday life. And then 5 years passes, 10 years. Think about your parents. You know, while your parents never abandon you, I assure you there's a bunch of them that abandon their dreams. This is a tragedy. This is a tragedy. You know, the media never talks about this stuff. How many of us have abandoned the dream? It's my belief that if I abandon my dreams, I'll abandon anything. It's the thing that's most core to who I am. My dreams have been with me longer than my wife or my 2 children. I think they've been around with me. The things I've wanted, fascinated about, you know, the reason anybody would go to school. Look, the only reason to go to school is to learn something, to make some dream a reality. I'm in San Jose, California today. I came up here to meet a guy that just sold his company. He sold his company a month and a half ago for $21 billion. Okay. What's the hashtag? 21 billion. Let me see it. Let me see the sign with the hashtag. Now, PolyGrant, hashtag PolyGrant, okay? My name's Grant Cardone, okay? If you don't know who I am, that's my fault. Now, that might seem strange to you when I say that, but I'm going to tell you why. You cannot make a dream or your purpose a reality if people don't know who you are. It is impossible. If people do not know who you are and what you do and how good you are at it, no dream will ever become a reality and no purpose can be fulfilled. And you won't get the money you want. So I was sitting down with this gentleman. His name's Robert Duggan, Duggan. And I went to Silicon Valley here in San Jose, and I met with him. I'm getting ready to have dinner with him tonight because I want to learn from people that exploded. I don't want to learn from people that stay small. I want to learn from people that got big. Now, this guy is one of the most generous people I know. He helps churches, communities. He helps everywhere he can help with his money, he does. Everywhere he can help with his name, he does. He got on a Periscope feed with me today. You know the Periscope feed, right? The thing with the little hearts. I'm doing one right now, right? So I'm streaming you right now. And I introduced him to this technology. And I said, Bob, me and you can help tens of millions of people that are trying to figure out how to make a business successful. Robert Duggan's the guy that he went to Stanford. He went to all the big colleges. He's taking the path many of you are taking. His path and story is completely different than mine. He went to Wall Street, New York Wall Street. He basically got funding for his business. He sold shares and went public. I did not do that, okay? What I did was I started one business when I was broke at 25 years old. I had a college degree. My college degree did not keep me from being broke. My college degree did not keep me from bad jobs. My college degree did not prepare me for some of the things that I needed to be prepared for. But it did help, okay? It did help a lot. It gave me structure, and it gave me, most importantly, the idea that I could complete something. And I was surrounded by other people that were thinking, hey, the mind learning is important. Education is important. At 25 years old, broke. You know how broke I'm talking. I cannot buy a hamburger broke. I owe more money than I have. I have no money. I can't get a job. I've lost confidence in myself. My family doesn't even think much of me, but I do have my college degree. Nothing else though. I didn't have direction. I didn't have guidance. I didn't have anybody mentor me. I didn't have much hope. Again, no money. I had lost my purpose and I didn't have my dream anymore. Look, a man or woman without a dream, you're just wandering around. There's plenty of smart people on this planet. There's a lot of people on this planet smarter than me, for sure. By the time I was 30 years old, I was a millionaire. By the time I was 35, I probably had 5 of them. And here I am today, 27 years from being broke. I have 4 companies that will do $100 million a year in sales and a real estate portfolio that's got over $300 million in holdings. I've written 5 books. I have 2 more coming out. We have a TV network called GrantCardoneTV.com. We push out content to entrepreneurs over the internet. I'm considered one of the top 5 social media people in the world today. And I'm talking to you tonight. I mean, hey, you want to talk about exciting? I'm making new friends tonight. I want each of you guys to become my friends. And the reason I say that is because I didn't know until 5 years ago that I needed people. I need people. If you want to make your business work, you need people. You need lots of people. You need to know people. You have to get attention. It has never been easier. In my estimation, it has never been easier in the history of this planet for a person to be successful. It's never been easier for a person to make it really, really big. I'm talking rock star big. You got rock stars down there, don't you? Yeah, of course. We've got rock stars all around the world, right? Because a rock star, a hitter, somebody that makes it big, that transcends every language and every culture. So the first thing you got to ask yourself right now is, do you want to do something big? Do you want to be big? Do you want everybody to know you? Do you want to walk into a restaurant and they have a table set aside for you? I know there's some of you saying, nah, I don't need that. I don't need that. I guarantee you there'll be a time in your life where you'll want that table for you and your spouse, or you and a business partner. You will want to be able to walk into a room and know that the maitre d' will find you a table. And if you don't want that right now, you've already given up on your dreams. Anybody that says they don't want to be treated special gave up on their dreams. First of all, you are special. Who is you? There is no other you again, okay? You're it. You're the deal. The thing they didn't teach me in college was that I could do anything. Anything. They didn't teach me. They taught me how to learn a little bit in college. They taught me how to get the grades. They taught me how to get out. I was around a lot of the right people, okay? But they didn't teach me how to get intensely committed to making my dreams a reality. Why else go to school? Look, I wanted to take care of my parents. My dad had died. I wanted to take care of my mom. That was a dream of mine. I wanted to help people. I wanted to be the dad or the uncle that I didn't have to other people that were 16, 18, and 20. I can't do that without money. I can't do it without money, and I can't do it without success. You can only help so many people if no one knows you, because they won't trust you. So I know I'm talking to you a lot about stuff outside college, right? Some of you are wondering what you're going to do when you get out. Who are you going to go work for? You should already have 5 targets, and you should not have more than 5 targets. And those targets should not be industries. They should be people. Businesses are made up of people. You will work for a person. You will get your raises because of people, not because of a business. You know, I didn't know until this week. Oh my God, man, I just got it this week. I've never really had a job. I've had an occupation. Success is my occupation. Success has been the thing that I've wanted for years. That is my main job, to be successful at whatever I do. First 5 jobs I had, I lost. I was fired. Just to give you some, I know I look good. Some people seem to think, wow, man, he's so pretty. He's so pretty, he's got it all going. But you know, I'm just going to tell you, your looks will only help you so far. There's plenty of ugly people right here in San Jose that have made fortunes. Okay? I happen to have the whole package. So now you're like, oh my God, this guy is so American. No, Americans don't act like this. Most Americans are asleep. I'm gonna tell you something. If a Colombian comes to Miami, where I live and work, and an American shows up for the same job, I'm hiring a Colombian. I'll hire a Colombian over an American any day of the week. I'll hire anybody outside the United States over an American, because Americans don't have their hustle on anymore. Americans have gotten lazy. Americans are taking for granted the freedom to do whatever you want. So look, what am I telling you right now? Purpose, man. You got to have a purpose that's sick. You got to have one that's freaking like, you're like obsessed with it. You're like, I cannot sleep. And if you have that kind of purpose and that kind of dream, you're going to have a girlfriend or a boyfriend that's all on board with you. Because if you're crazy like I am, if you're crazy enough to want massive success, you're going to need a partner that's crazy like you. This is a big problem, okay? This is a massive, massive problem. Probably one of the questions I get asked more than any other thing, okay? Dude, how do you and your wife do the deal? It's what? Where I'm at, I'm on a 3-hour time change on the West Coast. I should be on the East Coast. I got family in the other room. I'm doing this. You got to be crazy to do what I'm doing. But this is what I know. I can't make my purpose come true without you. I cannot make my dreams come true without people. Okay? The next companies that I build will be built with people, with the minds and actions of people, not desk and computers. You know, the more we advance technologically, the more you need people. I need people that can think and make the right decision fast. So you got to be online with what is your purpose, what is your dream, and who is the company, the 3 or 4 or 5 companies on this planet, on this little globe, that are best suited for assisting you in making your dream a reality. It might not be the big companies. Okay, I see guys get out of college, they're going straight to Coca-Cola, or they want to go to Facebook, or they want to go to Caterpillar, they want to go to the big name. You might be better off finding a guy like me, a smaller entrepreneur that's got courage and money and a dream. Because just because a company's there doesn't mean they have the courage to invest the money to expand the dream. Because without the expansion of the dream, you can't advance. This is very, very important for you to know. Okay. When I was talking to this billionaire today, the guy reads constantly. He wrote a book on genius. This is his company, Pharmacyclics, sold for $21 billion. He teaches all of his employees to be geniuses. I'm talking geniuses, not college educated. He believes that everyone is a genius. He believes that every employee he has genius ability. And he inspires that in people. He thinks enthusiasm is more important than education. I happen to agree with it. Okay. He also believes that knowing how to learn something, right? The ability to know something. See, when you know something, you can move on it. Just because you have a Google map or a navigation system in your car and you're going on a trip somewhere where you've never been, you still can't go very fast because you've never been there. But when you're going home, you got the nav system, and you got the Google Maps, right? And you got it plugged into your car, but you know where you're going. You see the difference? That's why I tell you, look, find 5 companies, find 5 companies, find 5 owners of companies that you want to work with, that you want to make a difference with, where your purpose and your dream is aligned with whatever that company's doing. That's who you want to go to work with. Because that guy won't work with that guy or gal, that company won't want you to work for them. They're going to want you to work with them. And they're going to be interested in your dream. If you're a real hitter, you know, if you're committed, I mean, crazy committed. I did success. I must have success for whatever reason. I don't know what your reason is. You want to be famous? Good, man. You want to be famous? You want everybody to know you all over the world? You want to get rich? There's so many layers of success, right? Which one you want? You know which one I want? I want them all. I want them all, every one of them. I want to be famous. I want to be rich, you know. I want to walk into a restaurant and they say, hey, Alejandro, you got to get it up. Okay, Grant Cardone is here. Excuse me. It's not fair. Hey, but life isn't fair, folks. Okay, life is not fair. Every day, people are leaving colleges. Intelligent, smart people, and they're not getting hired. That's not fair. Every one of you has had a parent. You've had a parent, somebody you know, somebody you care about, somebody you love, something bad happened. to good people. Bad things happen to good people every day. And the reason why bad things happen to good people is because good people do not plan big enough. They think little. People think little. Okay? We're a planet of people that save. We worry about saving. Oh, I got to save all my food, right? You eat your dinner and you put half of it back in the refrigerator because you're worried about producing enough. The name of the game when you get out, is what's your purpose? What's your dream? And who can help you facilitate that? The last thing I want to add to this is one thing you might want to consider. What are you willing to give up? What are you willing to give up right now to get it all? And there should probably be 3 or 4 or 5 things on your list. What's the dream? What's the purpose? What are you willing to do to get it? But more importantly, right now, what are you willing to give up to get what you want? Because you're going to have to give something up. I'm giving up dinner with my kids right now. Okay? You're going to have to give something up. You have to surrender something to get the big payday. And if you were brought up the way I was brought up to play it safe, protect myself. How many of you were taught, don't talk to strangers? It's a worldwide thing. Parents teach kids not to talk to strangers. Strangers have everything you want. Everything you want is in the hands and the bank account of a stranger. You don't know that person yet. You probably know the saying down there. What is it? It's who you know that matters. You have that saying down there? Now let me tell you what matters. Who knows you? Matters more than who you know. Who knows you? All right? Because the guy or gal that's smart enough, clever enough, intelligent enough, savvy enough, that believes in themselves enough, their dreams and their purpose enough to get everybody to know them, not in a braggadocious way, not the way the matador would, okay, even though the matador needs to do that, for the audience. Otherwise, there wouldn't be any tickets. You understand what I'm saying? Look, you got to get attention, okay? You got to get attention. If I don't know you, I'm not doing business with you. If I don't know you, I will not fund your dream or your purpose. Today, it's never been easier in the history of this planet to know people. Okay, I would not worry about Bogota. I would worry about the world. Don't worry about people in Bogota knowing you. Worry about the whole world knowing you. Get your attention way out. Money and success follow attention. How much attention can you get for your brand, for your name, for your face, for whatever your dream or purpose is? How many people can you get to know you? Because if they know you, the door is now open to get that right interview with one of those 4 or 5 people where they have the funds and they have the courage to possibly fund something bigger where you can drop in and be part of that vehicle, part of that machinery, and part of that idea. Become the expert in your space. I'm telling you, you got to become the master. You need to be the master of the master in your space. You must become the genius, the go-to, the standout. You must be exceptional. This whole concept of 10X is about taking whatever is normal and blowing it up 10 times. So that I can't not notice you. I have to notice you. So if you look at the things today that are noticed, okay, it's TV, newspaper, radio, right? Your country has done a terrible job at PR in itself. Colombia is known as the drug capital of the planet. It's probably not even true. Every day you see in the newspaper, you see some movie. You got movies that were done 25 years ago about Bogota that people are still fascinated about today and think that Bogota is still, the cocaine central of planet Earth. I don't know. Maybe it is true. I don't know. I doubt it is. It's not true, right? But each of you have not done your part in making sure the world knows the truth, which means the media has done a better job than you have. So you need to think media, the size, the right size is to be TV. You need to be TV now. You need to be everywhere all at the same time. I'm going to leave you with one word before we go to questions. I want you to look up this word, one of the most important words to me in my life. It changed my career. Omnipresence. Omnipresence. The ability to be everywhere all at the same time. Okay. Right now, I'm Skyping with you. I'm on Meerkat streaming out to, 500 people. I'm on Periscope. There's probably been 2,000 or 3,000 people come through here. We'll take this recording, drop it on YouTube. I'll post it on Facebook and Twitter before the night's over. Omnipresence. Success follows attention. If I don't know you, how smart you are will not matter. If I don't know you, your dream will not become a reality. If I don't know you, how good you are, how exceptional you are, nobody will ever know. Hey, thank you so much for listening to me tonight. I hope you got something out of this. Anything, if I can ever do anything to help any of you, as long as you send it to me in English, I'm happy to try to answer your questions. You can send all emails to gc@grantcardone.com. And again, I want to thank Alejandro for putting this together, because it's his insistence and his courage and his persistence that made this happen.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. We have a few questions already. One of the first questions that we have, it's a lot of people are employees, right? They're employees, and almost everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. They want to have their own business. So what's your recommendation for that migration? Do you keep your job until you have something going? Do you just go all in and try to make your own business? What do you recommend about that?
Well, first of all, let me tell you, you're never not going to be an employee. I own 4 companies, and there is no such thing as being the boss. If I asked Bob Duggan today that sold his company for $21 billion, he'd be like, no, man, I got to take care of the shareholders. I got to take care of my family. I got to take care of you're still always working for someone. So just understand that there's never a time when it's just your show. Even if you make $1 billion, doesn't matter. You're always going to have to please somebody. On the other side of that question, look, you can make a lot of money being an employee. Probably a third of the billionaires on this planet don't own their own business. What you need to do today is be exceptional. You need to be like superstar exceptional. You need to be the biggest think in the room. You need to be the dreamer and the purpose, because if you're the boss of a little company, you'd be better off being a partner in something monster than being the owner of something small. In America, okay? In America, people want to own their own business here. But let me tell you the reality of the situation. 21 million small businesses in America have no employees. That's not a company. That's not a business. If you're the only employee in the business, that's not a company. That's a guy saying, I work for myself. You need this. It's either growing or it's shrinking. It's either doing this or it's doing that. You're either getting more or you're getting less. You cannot stay little. So if you're going to be a boss, a business owner, you need to think massive, massive big. Otherwise, you're going to get eaten up.
Perfect. Thank you. I have one more question. Here is Cesar Augusto is asking about the ethics issue. How does that interfere with your decisions? How do you avoid situations where our principles or our values are involved to be successful?
That's an interesting question. Look, I've studied criminals. It's enticing to watch the mafia guy. It's enticing to watch The Godfather. It was one of my favorite movies as a kid, The Godfather. I'm like, oh my God. Hey, look, they all end up dying, okay? Everybody that lies and cheats and steals, it ends up badly. There's never a case where it didn't end up badly. Even if it's merely you going home at night with a bunch of money and you put your head on the pillow and you don't feel good about what you're doing. For you to expand in a big way, you have to feel good about what you're doing. And when you're talking about ethical, I'm not just thinking about telling the truth. I'm talking about working for a company that does something ethical. I want to work for companies that there's a list of industries that I wouldn't even go to. I would never ever feel good about working for them. So there's so many choices and so many things a person can do today, and so many big giant ideas. What they need, great people. That man, pick 3 or 5 people that you want to work for. Stay away from the industries. Find ethical, honest, good people, and don't think South America. Think global. Maybe you need to move to China for a while. Maybe you need to move to India. Maybe the opportunity is going to bring you to Iraq. Maybe it's going to be Canada or America or Australia. Look, your dream and your purpose is not limited to an address. My entire life, I have been trying to create success so I can continue to move my location. So, you know what? Show up to blow up.
Got it. I have one more question here. It's about sales targets and bosses pressuring sales targets, and sometimes you get frustrated and stressed out. How do you recommend people to handle those big sales targets that sometimes overwhelm us, and we have a boss pressuring you and all the time pressuring you, and sometimes you're doing the best you can, and sometimes you're just not getting there?
You're not.
Do you have any recommendations?
You're not doing the best you can. Quit lying. Like, look, you got to knock the door down, folks. This sales thing. The thing about sales, colleges fail worldwide teaching anybody anything about sales. Targets are never too big. Never. If anything, the boss doesn't pressure you guys enough. They should pressure you more to be great, not to hit a sales quota, to be great, to be exceptional, to be unbelievable. So I would just tell you, there is no target you could give me that would be impossible. I can hit any target, okay, assuming I don't quit. So now I might need a little more time, or I might need to get more creative, or there might have to be another way to do it. But when a person commits fully to something, and sales is critical to your business, to your purpose, your dream, you have to sell somebody on something. If you don't like the sales idea, you're in trouble from the get-go. No business on the planet operates without sales. Not the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church has to have revenue. Google must have revenue. When Google makes decision, if you actually search Google and the 10x concept, the last book I wrote, Google has adopted as their Bible. They don't look for incremental changes. They look for big giant. So they're looking for ways they don't want to keep doing this. Oh, I got a little sales. I'm talking about salespeople right now. I'm talking about the manager. The manager keeps looking for this little bit of growth rather than, hey, what can we do to just take the top off this thing and have this giant expansion? And so that's what it takes for you guys to start thinking, ladies and gentlemen, every day, to start thinking about monster amounts of expansion. You got to be all in. And the reason you're having problems with those little quotas is because you're not thinking big enough. And the reason it feels like the manager's pressuring you is because you're not pressuring yourself. Because if a manager gives me a quota, I'm going to be like, that's all you got? Come on, man. You know, you need to set quotas that have never been attained in your industry. Don't try to be the best at your job. Try to be the best on the planet. And then you'll follow that up with the kind of thinking and actions necessary.
Beautiful. Perfect. I have a question about your book, your 10X book. Do you have like one of the rules? I guess some people have read your books that are watching about that's more important or the most important about your 10X book that you insist on making sure that's going on?
Yeah. So you're asking me about one thing out of the book?
Yeah, like if you have to like say something special about one of the 10X rules, one of the
Yeah.
rules,
No,
which
look,
which
the basic concept of the book is that people do not stay with their goals, and they abandon their dreams and their purpose because the thinking is too small. Who wants to just get by? How many of us have heard somebody say, "Oh, I just want to be happy"? What is that? I just want 2 kids and I just want to be happy and I don't need a lot of stuff. Okay. They gave up. They gave up. Look, what happens is when you start, I just want to make enough money to take care of my family. See, what happens is everybody is actually putting pressure down on the being's desire to explode, to do something spectacular. So what happens is when you wake up after 3 months or a year of thinking like that, you don't want to go to work anymore. The 10X rule is like, take whatever you want, multiply times 10, and build a plan for that. And you will not lose excitement and enthusiasm. I know people that were making $2,000, read the 10X rule, they're making $50,000 a month. They're making 25 times more money just because they started thinking 10 times bigger.
okay.
The book is based on multiplying, not adding. It's based on big, giant leaps, not on increments. And it also, Alejandro, I'll let you go. It also interrupts what your parents taught you. Because most of our parents, particularly Latin American parents and Italian parents like I had, very conservative, be satisfied, you don't need all that, just be happy. Your daddy didn't tell you don't be broke. You know, our parents didn't say, hey, go out there and get successful. That wasn't the commanding push, right, from our parents. Go ahead.
All right, Brent. We have just one last question. It's basically about that. If you're just getting out of college, and people are asking here, you know, most people have the option, or do I make my own company? Do I start looking for a job? And they also just trying saying about investments. It's convenient to invest in stock market if you're just getting out of college, or it's better to have a feeling of of a work experience or something else. Just when you're just making that decision, you're gonna be a grown up. You're gonna have to making some money. You're gonna leave home. Like in Colombia, most Colombians don't leave their home until they get married. You know, we're a bit more traditional than Americans usually go off to college and start living by themselves. So it's a big leap because you guys probably take that leap earlier than most Colombians. Most Colombians still live at home when they had their first jobs. So what recommendation would you suggest for those people just getting out of college and trying to start their business or their jobs or whatever to make that?
I definitely wouldn't invest in the stock market. I would tell them none of you should invest in. You shouldn't have more than first. I would definitely not invest in the stock market. Okay. Unless you just want to throw your money away.
Okay.
number two, I would get as far away from home as you could. You know, look, you can't grow at home, okay? Opportunities are not coming to your daddy's house. The world is not in your living room. Your daddy can only help you. Your parents are built to protect their children. So if you want what I want, I have to leave my home. I need to leave familiarity. I need to leave familia. I had to leave home to get away from the thinking, okay, of my parents, to go do my own thing. I had to go explore. I had to adventure. I had to be scared to be alone or to be with people. You have to get uncomfortable. You know, what I'm searching for is freedom. More than even success, I want freedom. I want freedom of time, freedom of money, freedom for my family. I want to come and go as I please. That is the game for me. And if that inspires somebody, why not start doing that when you're 21 years old? But you need money. You need money to do that. I need lots of money to do that. I need lots of opportunity. And that's why I said earlier, what are you willing to give up? You got to give up the strip joints, okay? And you're probably going to have to give up some of your friends. You might have to give up your mommy and daddy for a little while. You know, you might have to make some hard decisions. You might have to give up the comfort of this little neighborhood that you've lived in your whole life. What are you willing to give up to go get what you really want?
Perfect. Thank you. Grant, thank you so much for taking this time. We know your time is very, very valuable. We love having you here. You are very welcome in Colombia whenever you come back and you dismiss all those rumors. And we hope to see you very soon in Bogota or here in Colombia, anywhere. We would like to know where we can follow you or know more about you and your books and your TV station, all that stuff.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at Grant Cardone. I'm very, very easy to find. I'm on Periscope and Meerkat every day of the year, every single day. My website's grantcardone.com, and our TV channel is grantcardonetv.com, where I'm actually looking for some Spanish entrepreneurs to provide programming on our network, because I want to reach the Latin American market. The reason we moved to Miami was to be closer to you.
Great. That's beautiful. Okay, Grant, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being with us.
Okay.
Right. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Muchas gracias a todos por haber participado en esta conferencia con Grant Cardone. Les agradecemos a todos por haberse conectado. Les pedimos disculpas a algunos usuarios que en el canal de español tuvimos algunos inconvenientes. Yo creo que la mayoría de personas en el canal de inglés lo pudieron ver bien. Les agradecemos por sacar este tiempo y esperen muchas más actividades similares a la que tenemos hoy en día con el Politécnico. Nosotros estamos acá para mejorar cada día más la experiencia de ustedes, que ustedes tengan más actividades con nosotros en el Poli. Les agradezco mucho por conectarse y hasta otra ocasión. Muchas gracias. Bye, Grant. Thank you.